Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic? I am so sick of that guy trying to rewrite his origin story like he was Matthew McConaughey pulling into the high school. It's like you were a nerd, nobody banged you, and now you have hair plugs in your laminated face. No, and everybody is afraid of these nerds. I don't get it. Well, it's a positive time, Jimmy.
Yeah, it really is.
Billionaires are not happy having $1 billion. Horrible, heartless people.
So the second Bill Burr opens his mouth, you know someone's ego is about to get curb stomped. And this time, it's Elon Musk getting tossed into the comedic meat grinder. Burr came in hot, no mercy, torched Musk's I'm cool now makeover like a man who's just sick of billionaires pretending to be Batman. The Hot Topic line, devastating and accurate. Elon always looks like he just rage quit a My Chemical Romance concert. But here's the twist, guess who's suddenly having a meltdown that wasn't even about him? Donald J. Trump. Because of course he thinks any joke about a fragile billionaire must secretly be about him. Musk gets clowned on national TV, and somehow Trump takes it personally. It's like watching two rich kids fight over who got bullied harder in 8th grade. This isn't just comedy. This is Burr going thermal on two of the most overinflated egos in America. And the best part, it's just getting started.
Dude, what happened to the fucking Twitter guy? I don't watch the news. That guy has lost his fucking mind. That dude has lost his fucking mind. I also don't understand neo-Nazi people. I don't understand how they're in this country going, support the troops, America, love it or leave it, and all of this type of shit. And it's like, you know, all those guys who died on D-Day, they were fighting Hitler.
Oh my God, this man just dropped a truth nuke on live TV. Before we go further, hit that like and subscribe, because what you're watching, this isn't just a roast, it's public therapy with a mic. And Burr's the guy saying what everyone's been thinking, but we're too afraid to scream into a camera. He doesn't just go for the neck, he tears out the entire spinal cord. When he took on Elon Musk, it wasn't playful banter, it was a full-blown exorcism of everything Musk pretends to be. The genius, the visionary, the free speech warrior with a yacht. And then there's Trump, watching his tech bro get torched while probably live tweeting on Truth Social in all caps. Let's not forget, Musk and Trump were getting cozy during the 2024 campaign. Musk even hinted he might help fund Trump's presidential circus. So naturally, when Musk gets dragged, Trump goes full drama queen. Because in Trump's world, if a rich white guy cries, he feels it in his soul. The roast isn't over. Later we will continue, but take a look at this.
Yes, it's from his podcast, Monday Morning Podcast.
Okay, go. How long is this clip, Rob?
This is about 1 minute and 37 seconds. And just so you know, this just broke news yesterday and today, but this clip actually came out on the 17th of February. So this has been out there, just nobody reported on it, which goes to show nobody's listening to Bill Burr.
I'll tell you what's funny. I made fun of the fucking Twitter guy for fucking Sieg Heiling not once but twice. And I never look at my emails. I was scrolling through my emails and it said my Twitter account had been flagged for I don't even tweet anymore. It had been flagged for whatever. What a fucking baby. Just like Hitler. A fucking baby.
Oh, wow. So apparently mocking Elon Musk gets you flagged on Twitter, even if you're Bill Burr. And what triggered the flag? Not one, but two jokes about Musk acting like a fascist, which, let's be honest, is starting to feel less like satire and more like documentary commentary at this point. Also, Bill doesn't even use Twitter anymore. He roasted Musk on a podcast and still got slapped with a violation notice. If that doesn't scream Elon's ego is writing the community guidelines, I don't know what does. But to really appreciate the mess we're in, you've got to understand this weird, cringy bromance between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Forget everything you knew about Trump feuding with Silicon Valley. That era is gone. These two have been flirting harder than a couple of teens at Mar-a-Lago. Musk didn't just throw some cash at Trump's campaign. He basically sent a handwritten love letter with a check in it. It wasn't just a donation, it was a signal, a billionaire alliance. Like, we the extremely rich pledged to keep the rest of you peasants confused and poor. Elon didn't just like Trump, he endorsed him repeatedly. He started parroting Trump's talking points, defending his stances, and doing his best impression of a libertarian Reddit mod with a god complex. Then Trump naturally did what he always does when someone flatters him. He started gushing.
Amazing, but I also think he's got a big company to run, and so at some point he's going to be going back. He wants to.
Did you want to keep him around?
I'd keep him as long as I could keep him. He's a very talented guy. We found numbers that nobody can even believe, like 400 billion, 500 billion. It could be close to $1 trillion by the time they end on different things. I will say he's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot.
You'd think Trump was describing a lost puppy, not a guy who owns half the satellites orbiting Earth. But the Trump cycle always comes full circle, and surprise, he's already turning on Musk. Because of course he is. Loyalty to Trump has a shelf life shorter than a McDonald's ice cream machine. When Musk made that little trip to the Pentagon, allegedly to get briefed on China war plans, yeah, that happened. Trump immediately flipped like it was season 3 of Real Housewives GOP edition.
Given Trump's tendency to blow up relationships, how long do you think Elon Musk will last?
I don't think this bromance is going to go on too much longer. There was an interesting scene at the end of last week when Musk went over to the Pentagon, at least according to the New York Times, to get a briefing on the China war plans, which would be an incredible outrage if true. But Trump came out after the meeting very strongly and said he shouldn't see the war plans, and Musk may have conflicts of interest because of his business in China. That was an interesting shot across the bow by Trump, I thought.
Boom! Trump goes from he's a patriot to he might be a Chinese spy in less than a week. That's the loyalty you get for stroking his ego. So when Bill Burr comes in with the sarcasm dialed to maximum, shredding Musk for being a wannabe Iron Man with a god complex and a fragile spine, it hits different. Musk's empire is built on overpriced promises and chaotic tweets. And Burr, he's not just pointing it out, he's taking a flamethrower to it. Stick around, it will get worse.
You're likely to still see the sort of Bill Burr perspective on economics, which is totally ignorant and, by the way, utterly hypocritical given the fact that he's a millionaire himself who makes money saying used to be funny things on TV. But here, for example, is Bill Burr going after Elon Musk.
You're gonna leave the country because of one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face, makes a bad car and has an obsolete social media platform? You're gonna leave this? Why doesn't he leave? Why isn't he stopped? What are we so afraid of this guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag? Why do liberals just sit back and not? They have nothing. You got to speak up about it. You don't just go like, oh my God, what?
Oh no. Poor billionaire feelings are getting bruised again. The right-wing outrage machine is out here crying that Bill Burr is too mean, because apparently, mocking Elon Musk's laminated face and glorified golf cart empire is now an act of political violence. The man said what everyone's been thinking for years. Why are we letting this tech bro Lex Luthor cosplay as the voice of the future? If that fragile ego is enough to make people leave the country, maybe it's time they did. And look, we all know Musk has rockets. Great, but rockets don't equal wisdom. They just make louder noises when they fail in front of everyone. The same guy who sent a Tesla into orbit for the aesthetic. Yeah, that's your self-proclaimed genius. Let's talk results. For every flashy launch, there's a string of half-baked promises, missed deadlines, and products that perform like a knockoff iPhone in a microwave.
What happens when you take off and it separates into stages? How does the first stage get reused?
Well, have you seen how the Falcon 9 stages work, where they come back and land?
No.
You haven't seen it? Wow.
So does it come down with parachutes? Does it, like, how does it land?
No, it lands propulsively with the thrusters. With the engines.
Really?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, ultra assault rifle might go like Mach 2, Global Mach 2. This is going Mach 23.
Joe Rogan looked like he just discovered fire, and Elon explaining like it's the first time he's ever heard of his own product. The only thing launching here is pure cringe, but here's where it gets interesting. As Burr kept dismantling Musk like an IKEA shelf held together with ego and Red Bull, the laughter started turning into something else. A shift, because you just know who was watching this and not laughing. Donald J. Trump. This wasn't just a roast for him, it was a threat. Bill wasn't just clowning on Musk's weird tweets and cosplay level science fiction. He was chopping down the golden boy Trump had built up as a new age billionaire mascot. And for Trump, that's personal. Musk isn't just a buddy, he's a symbol, a puppet propped up to sell Trump's version of progress. The kind that runs on money, ego, and a whole lot of sci-fi nonsense. So when Burr tears that down, Trump doesn't see a joke, he sees danger. The room may have been laughing, but Trump, he felt the walls closing in. But now begins the real roasting.
Fire up these days more than usual.
Nerds.
Yeah.
The nerds that own the politician.
nerds.
All these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over the world.
Bill Burr is not wrong. We're officially living in the age of the overcompensating tech nerd. And at the top of the food chain, Elon Musk, king of the laminated-faced billionaires who couldn't get a date in high school. So now he wants to automate the entire planet. And Trump, he saw that lonely little tech bro and thought, ah yes, my kind of guy. Their bromance, it's been brewing for years. But this isn't just about campaign donations and a few likes on Truth Social. No, this is deeper. Musk didn't just support Trump, he aligned with him. Like a Silicon Valley Batman volunteering to be Trump's personal Alfred. While most of big tech was silently backing away from Trump like he just farted in a Tesla, Musk was leaning in, risking his own brand, doubling down, turning his platform into a MAGA meme factory and tech-based fever dream. And then came this moment.
We're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy. We will create the new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by a gentleman named Elon Musk, who's here someplace. I don't know where the hell he is. He's here someplace. Come here, Elon. Did you see his rocket yesterday? It was captured.
Of course, Trump would put Elon in charge of government efficiency, because nothing screams efficiency like a man who spent $44 billion on Twitter just to make it worse. But the bromance hit its peak when Trump swaggered into Butler, Pennsylvania, and basically tried to turn Musk into his hype man.
But an even bigger one was when Musk jumped in and jumped all over the stage in the return to Butler, Pennsylvania on October 5th, when Trump goes up to the mic and says, as I was saying, in one of the greatest reopening lines in presidential campaign history, with Musk jumping and supporting him and no longer making little tweets. What did you mean by that, Elon? What did you mean by this? Suddenly there he is saying, I got $100 million and I am backing Donald Trump. Dark MAGA rode into the sunset that day.
This wasn't just political support, it was a full-blown alliance, like a bad Marvel crossover. Dark MAGA meets broke Tony Stark. Musk didn't just endorse Trump, he helped build the narrative. He made Trump's tech dystopia look aspirational. While other CEOs were ducking under conference tables, Musk was out here flexing $100 million and calling it patriotism, and Trump loved it. He saw Musk as more than a donor. He saw him as a partner in crime, a co-visionary for this ego-fueled fever dream of the future. Musk wasn't tweeting from the sidelines. He was in the war room, helping Trump reshape the narrative, amplify the chaos, and build a Silicon MAGA pipeline that made even some Republicans nervous. This wasn't a bromance. It was strategic tech seduction, and Trump, he fell for it hard.
We have a man who has a seriously high IQ. You know, I'm a person that believes in high IQs, and his is about as high as they get. He launched a rocket 3 weeks ago, and then he went to Pennsylvania to campaign because he considered this more important than launching rockets that cost billions of dollars. Elon Musk. Elon. What a job. What a job he does. He's a great, and he happens to be a really good guy. You know, he likes this place. I can't get him out of here. He just likes this place. Elon Musk!
I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark, gothic MAGA. Well, the energy in this room is incredible. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted and the Department of Government Efficiency is gonna fix that.
Trump is gushing. You'd think he was introducing a Nobel Prize winner, not the guy who renamed Twitter X and then tried to charge $8 for a blue check mark. This is what Trump does when he thinks he's holding a winning hand. Elon Musk to him isn't just a tech guy, he's a trophy, a shiny object to wave around and say, look, smart people like me too. So when Bill Burr starts ripping Musk to shreds on live TV, that's not just a punchline. That's a full-on sledgehammer to Trump's carefully crafted alliance. Because Burr isn't just mocking Musk's laminated face or his bizarre robot obsessions. He's destroying the illusion, the myth, the billionaire bromance that Trump has been parading around like it's the cornerstone of his next campaign. For Trump, this isn't comedy, this is mutiny. Imagine being Donald Trump. Your ego is so fragile it practically comes with a handle with care sticker. And the one tech guy bold enough to publicly back you, the guy you paraded like Iron Man at a MAGA Comic-Con, just got roasted by a redheaded comedian with zero chill and a microphone. It hits him where it hurts. The ego, the image, the narrative. Because to Trump, Musk is more than a donor. He's proof. Proof that his chaos somehow appeals to the smart people, that he's not just noise, he's the future. And now that future is getting barbecued on national TV by Bill Burr, and it's going viral. So what does Trump do? The only thing he ever does, he starts ranting.
To ask you, the President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
Maybe you want to let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw them out of here.
Classic Trump move. Don't answer the question, just start swinging at ghosts. Cabinet upset? Toss him. Elon under fire? Deflect. He can't resist. He sees Musk getting torn apart, and suddenly it's DEFCON 1 in his brain. It doesn't matter if it's Burr, the media, or a literal Falcon 9 rocket. If they aren't kissing the ring, they're the enemy. This is what happens when you build your political brand on hype and hashtags. One good roast and the whole thing starts to crack. And Trump, he starts tweeting like he's trying to manifest a reality where Bill Burr never existed. All caps, non-stop posts, defending Musk like he's under siege. From a comedian. The man can't help himself. Every tweet makes it worse. Every outburst adds fuel. And somewhere out there, you just know Bill Burr is watching it all unfold, with a beer in hand, laughing his ass off.
President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? Right? Don't we want that? He's done a great job. He's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
This is Trump at peak delusion, talking up Elon like he's the second coming of Einstein, while also casually reminding everyone that he can't run for president because he wasn't born here. No worries though, because in Trump's head, Elon doesn't need to run for office. He's already running the department of whatever Trump just made up. But here's the thing, Trump's ego. It's a Molotov cocktail of insecurity and arrogance, and Bill Burr just lobbed a lit match right at it. Burr didn't just roast Musk, he tore a hole in the fantasy Trump's been selling since 2016, that Elon is this untouchable visionary, a one-man space-age messiah sent to validate MAGA with math. Burr shattered that illusion like it was made of Tesla glass. The best part, Trump can't defend Musk without sounding like a guy desperately trying to convince you his imaginary friend is real. Very smart, very efficient, huge rockets. Meanwhile, Musk getting clowned by a comedian who didn't even break a sweat. This wasn't just some one-off burn. It was a full-blown unraveling of Trump's favorite tech puppet. And now, the fragile MAGA alliance is starting to show cracks. Because let's be honest, Musk has never been the kind of guy who takes orders. He's out here tweeting in riddles, live streaming chaos, and chasing Mars like it's on sale at Costco. He doesn't care about Trump's image. He's too busy meme posting and crashing stock prices by accident. So when Burr took a blowtorch to Musk's myth, he exposed Trump's entire strategy for what it really is. Smoke, mirrors, and one very needy man trying to borrow credibility from anyone shinier than him.
With great difficulty.
That idiot Elon Musk,
Oh.
That guy, like, he's gonna like who evidently is a Nazi. Like, I just refuse to believe that it was an accidental 2-time Sieg Heil.
Well, I don't think the tensions are high. Look, Elon's a very special person, and these cabinet people are special people. You know, these are very successful people, or they wouldn't have gotten, you know, they've attained the highest heights of government. And I think they have a fantastic relationship to Elon. And Doge has been incredible. You know, hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and fraud and abuse has been already found.
Trump's scrambling, trying to patch up the Musk myth while casually referencing Dogecoin like it's part of US economic policy. He can't keep up, he's watching his golden boy get dragged. And he's out here mumbling about very special people, like this is the last scene of a bad mob movie. This is the absurdity in full bloom. One moment, Musk is America's tech patriot. The next, he's being roasted for accidental Nazi salutes and overspending on exploding rockets. And Trump's just sitting there, clutching the illusion like it's the last can of Diet Coke at Mar-a-Lago. Because it's not just about Musk getting roasted, it's what that roast represents. If Elon crumbles, if the illusion breaks, if the smartest man in the room gets exposed as just another rich dude with weird hobbies and bad impulse control, then what's left? Trump built his comeback fantasy on people like Musk, and now, thanks to Bill Burr, that fantasy is burning down.
The fact that the Twitter guy he's not even from here. He's from South Africa. He comes to this country and wants to turn it into a fucking dictatorship. He doesn't feel that we deserve democracy. Can you just imagine doing that? Going to another country and just deciding, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change this form of government because I've decided. Yeah, he doesn't mind living under a dictatorship as long as he's on the good side of it. Fucking laminated face cunt.
Bill Burr is not just throwing punches at Musk, he's delivering full-on knockout combos. And every time he lands one, you can practically hear Trump hyperventilating off screen, typing out 5 drafts of a Truth Social post he'll still delete later. Because let's be honest, Burr's roast isn't just Musk focused, it's nuking the entire MAGA tech fantasy these two built like it was a Lego set made of narcissism. Trump's whole Elon is a genius narrative blown to pieces. And the more Burr digs in, the more Trump looks like a guy watching his golden goose get turned into rotisserie on national television. And the best part, Burr does it all while being hilarious. This man doesn't just criticize, he turns every weird little Musk quirk into comedic art. From the laminated face to the dictator energy, he's painting a portrait of Musk as a walking midlife crisis wrapped in a SpaceX jacket. And he does it so effortlessly, Trump ends up in the crossfire. Again, without Burr even needing to say his name. It's like watching one guy roast an entire empire with just sarcasm and a microphone.
Maybe Elon, he has all this money and power and he thought it was going to fill that fucking void and it didn't. And rather than face it in a panic of the profound loneliness. Okay, and I'm coming from an empathetic place here because I experienced that when I took mushrooms. It's a profound sense of loneliness. And then you either face that and figure out where it is, or you just go full Nazi.
And there it is, the line that broke the internet. Only Burr could transition from mushroom therapy to going full Nazi while roasting the richest man on earth, and somehow make it sound deep. But this joke, it cuts right to the core, because Musk and Trump, they're the same brand of broken. All money, all ego, zero self-awareness. They can launch rockets, host rallies, scream into social media voids, but the second someone mocks them, they implode. And watching them both unravel simultaneously is like peak 2020s political theater. Trump spinning the chaos like it's some misunderstood genius alliance. Musk lost in his own tech-fueled hallucination, liking memes while Rome burns. They built these empires on buzzwords, followers, and vibes. But Burr came in like a gladiator with a mic, slicing through the BS while sipping on empathy and calling out the fascist undertones in HD. What we're witnessing isn't just a roast, it's a comedic dismantling of a political fever dream. And next up, let's just say, Trump's response to all this chaos makes everything worse. Another wild outburst, and this one's pure, unfiltered insanity.